Right, what's your go-to post-training meal? I need suggestions. So,
okay, who's it?
Logan Fit 01. So Logan Fit,
01.
you need to pick something that you can probably just get in a decent amount of. We know Glut 4 is heightened post-workout, guys. Glut 4 is heightened post-workout. Basically, our ability to assimilate nutrients is going to be highest in the post-workout setting. We're in a glycogen-deprived or somewhat, let's say, state where we need to be replenishing glycogen stores. So I would always opt for a food choice that's easy to get in, relatively low volume, relative to the phase. So, for example, currently my post-workout meal is cream of rice. When I'm in a gaining phase, it will be cereal. That's either Frosties or Cocoa Pops, depending on, let's say, preference. And then I will most likely add in, let's say, either potentially a highly brown cyclodextrin and with some whey, so in with a shake. Potentially, let's say, crumpets, jam, bagels, potentially like, let's say, some square bars. I used to have a square bar with literally 60 grams of jam just on top of it because it was easy to get in. And all I was thinking of is what can I get in relative to a high amount of carbs that's easy to get in. Now, does it have to be cereal? Does it have to be whey? Does it have to be... I just go for easy food choices that I'm not going to say enjoy, but they're just easy to get in and they digest well. Now, if you're in a fat loss phase, could it be more voluminous? Could it be rice? Could it be chicken? Could it be, let's say, something completely different? Yeah. So I would just say what sits well with you, what you somewhat enjoy that you can get a lot of in, and be just careful and cautious for the volume and digestion capabilities. What's your current post-training meal, bro? You have a rapid recovery shade, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I recover absolutely rapidly. CMP recover.
Yeah.
Within 15. To be fair, throughout my off season, there was a point where I was having 200 grams of... I was having this is what I was doing. I was having 200 grams plus of cereal.
Yeah.
And then the liquid within the cereal was not only whey, but it was whey, carb powder, and cream of rice.
So what was it? So what's the most amount of carbs? Because I think I was
having 350 carbs post workout.
I had during the first lockdown, 370 grams of Frosties post workout, and it was torturous.
So that's just at not far off. Yeah, not far off 350.
Yeah, and that was awful.
Yeah, to be fair, mine was actually okay because it wasn't that much volume. It was 200 grams of cereal isn't that much.
No.
But then when you add 50 grams of cream of rice, 50 grams of carb powder, it ends up being
on top the actual
it ends up being
viscosity.
Thick. It was thick, and then there's the graininess of the cream of rice when you're eating it.
I couldn't imagine. Even it's funny now. That to me, sounds vile. My stomach, God, I couldn't imagine.
Mate, I couldn't think. I remember it wasn't nice at the time. It wouldn't be nice now. It's just like you say. It's how can you get food in?
Yeah, I remember coming out of prep and I had 250 grams worth of cereal. That was my post-workout meal, last prep. And the first 3 weeks, I was like, this is lovely.
Yeah.
And then after a couple of weeks, I remember thinking to myself, after a month, I was like, this bowl is getting this is getting bigger.
Yeah, I don't actually like it.
And then after
anymore.
6 weeks, I was like, God, this is getting more challenging. And I remember literally going from a state of being really lean, needing food, and then adding some body fat, my appetite coming down. And I literally remember thinking to myself every week, I swear this 250 grams is getting bigger. This is getting harder and harder to get in. And eventually it got quite challenging. I remember the highest my food got post-workout in my last off-season, so literally prior to this prep, was, I think it was 270 cereal, and then a bagel, and then 60 grams of jam. So 310 carb, probably 320 carb. So around there, 300 to 320 carb post-workout. And that's usually what I'll kind of work up to. But this is when my carbs are 900 to 1,000 at peak. So yeah, for Logan, for example, if you might be hearing this and go, Jesus Christ, I need people could listen to that and go, wow, I need to eat 300 grams of carbs. No, if you're eating 500 carbs, you don't need 300 carbs post workout. Yeah, 150 to 200.
Dates as well, or any dried fruit, very easy to get in.
All good. Right.
Elliot_trains. How important is a desensitized phase in a gaining phase?
Yeah, you got to so basically, when you're eating a lot of food, eventually you're kind of just general sort of your appetite, your androgen receptors, your digestion capabilities, digestive enzymes, everything will just become oversaturated with just carbohydrates, and you therefore need to start to pull back. If anything, your body will become less sensitive, so you need to have a desensitization phase. All seriousness,
surely desensitization would mean that you're getting less sensitive, so it would surely be a sensitization phase.
So this is something that I genuinely wouldn't surprise me.
I've never ever said desensitization in my life.
I think
until now.
I genuinely think in 3 years, this will be something that people are going to be like, I'm registered desensitized.
I hate that.
Yeah, like something that was implemented, like
I think
into
we'll
the
hate
nuance,
bodybuilding.
into the nuance
I think
of
we do
bodybuilding.
it a bit anyway.
Yeah, we both
how some things are.
Like about 2 years ago, I remember like there was a phase of like diet breaks coming around, and me and Finn kept having clients say, "Oh mate, I'm 4 months into a gaining phase. Any chance we can run a diet break?" And we were like, "No, just crack on and eat.
Get strong."
Like it gets to a point in any phase where
it's not easy.
It's not fun. Yeah, it's not enjoyable. There was times in this prep where I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm just digging and digging and digging.
Can I have a diet break?
I didn't ask.
Can
I didn't say once, I need a diet break. I was like, I'm still fat. I need to pull body fat off. It's the same, for example, in a gaining phase. There's going to be times where it will come around to a meal and you're like, I was saying this to a client earlier, we used to train on 3 meals, and by the time we probably finish our last mouthful of the meal, we're eating again within 2 hours. And the meals aren't small. The meals were big. The meals were probably 100 to 150 gram of carb minimum, each one with probably 10 to 15 grams of fat, probably 50 to 70 grams of protein. And we're then trying to get that in, then have an intra workout within so we're having like 4 meals and it's like 3 p.m, 4 p.m. And we've got work to do. It's not like we're just sat around doing nothing. We've got a lot on. And we're eating meals that take like 20, 30 minutes to eat. And it can be a chore. Like productivity can be challenging,
it's
routine,
not fun.
structure.
Like, I can't remember the last time I thought, eating all this food is fun.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
It's not supposed to be fun.
I remember like when I was I feel on my rest days I'm more productive because I don't have to eat like that much food. All things considered, like
when I started my pre-prep diet, because obviously I had like a big drop off in food straight away. I was like, I have been wasting so much time eating. Like not wasting, obviously, because I was eating, but like I was so much more able to be so much more productive. I was like, I have so much more time available because I was spending probably 2 hours less eating across a whole day.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'd be in the kitchen at like, let's say I had my first meal at like 9:15 in my gaining phase. I'd be in the kitchen from like 8:45 making my food for the day. I'd eat the meal and it'd be like 9:45. I'd be like, that's an hour.
An hour's gone from prepping
just from
and
prepping
eating.
and eating, and I've
and
still
then
got
2
to
hours
eat
later
the
you're
meals.
eating again.
I've got to eat the meals. Yeah, it's like it takes.
We can
a
obviously
toll.
you can do work while like obviously it depends on the person and what their job is. Like luckily we can still do work somewhat while we're eating.
We've not even answered the question. You don't need to run one.
Oh
Eat your fucking food.
Yeah, decent. I'd never even heard of the word.
Yeah.
I don't even think it is a word. I think the word would be sensitization, to be honest.
Yeah. Right. So
why would you want to ever desensitize?
Exactly.